So, hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Water Academy, the podcast about water, wellness, and technology by Water.io, the smartest water bottle in the world. Today, we have the privilege of speaking with Yoav Yosha, which is an expert in ice bathing and innovative breathing methodologies. So I'm very excited, first of all. Yoav, first, thank you for coming today. It's very exciting.
But wait, Gil, we didn't do the tradition.
What's the tradition?
How much did you drink today?
Oh, actually, I think that today...
Oh,
I could swear it was green a few minutes ago. I could swear about that.
Green.
Da, 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 da,
Oh
da,
my Don't fire me, please.
Okay, sorry, I interfered.
Yeah. So, first, tell us a bit about yourself and your journey into the worlds of ice bathing and breath work. How you got into it and.
How did you find yourself in a bath of ice?
Yeah,
Bath full of ice. So
it never hopped in my mind to even try this. I won't lie.
So I hope at the end of the podcast you'll be convinced to expose yourself to the cold and you
Try to
understand
convince me.
the benefits and the advantages. So thanks for having me, guys. It's an honor and a pleasure. I'm Yoav. I'm 35 years old. I'm practicing CWT, which is a cold water therapy method. Okay, we will soon touch a little bit about what it encapsulates, like this method. I've been in the water all my life. Like I played water polo since age 5. So I'm really I like surfing. I'm a diving instructor, surfing instructor. So transforming into another form of water, just frozen water, was obvious step for me. So yeah, I was always curious about exposing myself to cold, and I felt like something in my intuition told me that there is something in it. And somewhere around 2 years ago, I just bought a freezer, and I said, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna learn a little bit about it from Wim Hof and everything that's online, and I'm just gonna expose myself to cold plunge every day for the next 30 days. I don't care what's going to happen. And I just started cold plunging, and the things that happened to my life were crazy. And I can elaborate a little bit about it.
Yeah, wow, sounds promising. So what you said, it was just like a gut feeling that you felt that you need to go into.
Did you see it anywhere or just?
Yeah, it was starting to rise. Wim Hof is around being I say famous is since 2016. He just created the Wim Hof method at around 2014. So it's been around. I was exposing to cold in many different ways before that. I was surfing in the winter.
Yeah.
So I was exposed to cold a lot, and I knew there is something in it. So yeah, I just took the next steps. I wanted to take the next step.
Wow.
Okay, so I have to ask now. So you said crazy things happen. So what do you mean? Do you mean I assume obviously the feeling that you felt.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm curious to what you meant more than that.
So cold exposure has, maybe we can divide it into two separate things. First of all is the physiological aspects, and secondly is the mental aspects, okay? So from the physiological perspective, we have a lot of benefits, including increased recovery between workouts, reduced inflammation. It's a cardiovascular workout. That's what they call it, because there is a vasoconstrictions. The veins and all the arteries constrict in the cold, and then they expand in the heat, which is very, very healthy for your cardiovascular system.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What does less inflammation mean?
So once we plunge in the cold, you have inflammation, certain levels of inflammation in your body. So it's not always like a healthy process in your body. In some cases it is, but in some cases you want to reduce the inflammation in certain parts of your body, and the cold really helps with that.
I
Okay.
didn't know that. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, did you do it by yourself, like for the first time, or
Yeah.
were you with an expert?
So
By yourself.
I learned everything I can from like online, from courses online, from YouTube, from reading researchers. And I felt comfortable because I've been around water all my life. So I felt comfortable to do it on my own. This is not the way to do it, like the
Yeah.
recommended way to do it. You should contact like a certified instructor, like on the first time you're exposing yourself to cold. But yeah, that's the way I did it.
Okay, so it leads me to my next question actually. For those among us who are interested in ice bathing but are concerned, could you give us some tips for beginners how to safety start doing this practice? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified just by the idea of putting myself like in ice bath. It's
Yeah,
like
I was also
I'm
while
terrified.
you were speaking, I was thinking. First of all, I like the sun. I like summer. I'm very happy that
Same.
we're getting to summer now. And the last time I remember I did anything close to that was maybe when I was traveling in Nepal, and there's the frozen lakes there, and
Right.
I don't think I was able to put my whole body in. I just put until my waist, and it was like too much. I had to go out.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to wrap up the other set of benefits, the mental benefits, right? This is super important. It's even more important, in my opinion, than the physical benefits, because what happens when you want to get into the cold? Like you said, you're terrified. You don't want to do it, right? So this is a really a metaphor to the things that we experience in our life. We always live in the comfort zone. We always act or make decisions out of fear, okay? And we never like to feel discomfort, right? We are human beings. We always look for the good temperature and the food is being served. When we experience the cold over and over and over again, we actually train the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that it's associated with fear. We train it and we actually say, look, I can do it. And if I can do this, maybe I can do other things. I can do the hard conversation with my boss. I can break up with the girl or the boy I don't want to go out with. I can start a new project. So you actually train the part of your brain that is associated with the fear, and say, I can do it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That actually, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's very, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So that would mean that people that are driven into this, you could say, is it a sport or a health a health trend? So there would typically also be in some kind of personal growth process where they want to like change the way they approach things.
I would say that we're all of us should be in some kind of a growth process, right?
Yeah.
If you're
definitely.
stagnant, if you're not growing in your life, you're dying, right? With
True.
whatever doesn't grow, it dies. So
Definitely.
you always want to be challenging yourself and trying new things and get out of your comfort zone and I don't know, quit that job or trying the new thing. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We always want to try.
It was interesting when you spoke. I was also thinking about water, because that's our world. But we are also from water, but where the water that you consume inside your
Yeah.
body, not swimming. And also water, it's important for your body. Obviously, you can't live without it, but it's important for your mind because that's something that we talk a lot about. Research has shown that it makes you more focused if you're well hydrated. Everyone today, because this crazy world and the products that are
Concentrated and calm.
marketed is like sugar and coffee and they think, okay, that's what's going to focus me, but actually no, the truth is that water can make your mind sharper. And that leads me to my next question, which I have to ask, like, how would you say that the consumption of water how is it tied up to this? Obviously, this is an extreme physical activity. So, do you need to drink more, or do you need to drink maybe less before or after?
Yeah. So I would say always like stay hydrated. That's a good advice for everyone if you're practicing or you're doing exercise or you're plunging into the ice bath. And it is an extreme, let's say, extreme event for the body. So I would highly recommend to stay hydrated, obviously before and also after, because sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but the body was stressed. Okay, the ice is a stressor. It's creating a process in the body that's called hormesis. Okay, hormesis, which is actually breaking something in order to build a better machine. Okay, it's the same as a gym or running or sauna or intermittent fasting. Okay, so it's actually putting a stress on the body in order to create an improvement, and it is a stressor, and you should stay hydrated before and after. That's for sure.
But does water have something to do with the shock, with preparing your body to the shock it's gonna experience when you're hopping in your ice bath?
I don't think I saw any like studies or research regarding hydration and cold plunging, but I would say it's a good rule of thumb to stay hydrated always, and even like obviously before cold plunging.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, maybe let's talk about breathing, because I know that breathing is part of this method. Yeah. So actually, on my way here, I was like, okay, I need to prepare. So I looked on Spotify, Wim Hof, because he's the guru, right? And I put Wim Hof, and I myself dealt with a bit of learning about breathing techniques and stuff, because we have actually a feature in the app where you can try it out if you have a few minutes during the day. And we went for the 4-4-4-4 square.
The box breathing.
The box breathing. And suddenly I heard this Wim Hof thing, and it was like super intense. It was like, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And we're like, oh God, I was driving.
You shouldn't do it while driving, that's for sure. Wim Hof is a special like person. He's avant-garde. He's doing like crazy stuff. He holds a lot of Guinness records. So he's a guy to take example from, but not do everything that he does, because it's really, really extreme. You know, he celebrated his 64th birthday, I think last year or 2 years ago, by doing 64 minutes in the ice. So
oh my God,
64 minutes, man! That's really
that's
cool.
crazy.
That's a lot.
Don't try.
How much do you typically?
Typically, the literature talks about exposing yourself to cold. Like the optimum point is 11 minutes per week, meaning 3 to 4 exposures of 2-3 minutes each exposure. This is the optimum. Like more than that, you wouldn't get any physical benefits.
And once a day, like not more than once a day.
Like it really depends on the person. For you, it might be maybe 3 times a week. For me, it's gonna be maybe, I'm just saying, not me personally, but for him, 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Maybe you need 9 degrees Celsius or let's say 60 Fahrenheit. And
but
you
not
need,
like 11 minutes in a row.
No.
For one time.
No, you need to separate the
Separate it.
exposure. Yeah, for several exposures. So you're asking about breathing. So breathing is a very, very unique system in our body, the respiratory system, right? Because if you think about it, it's the only system or mechanism in our body that we actually have access to. You do not control your digestion. You do not control your heart. You do not control your smelling sense, right?
You control your hydration.
Okay, but this is not a system. So it has like a dual nature.
Yeah.
It's autonomic. It's part of the autonomic nervous system, and it can be controlled by us and have a gateway into, let's say, the soul or the internal mechanisms of our body. And that's what Wim Hof actually proved in his famous 2014 Radboud study in the Radboud University, that he can actually access his autonomic nervous system by breathing the what you just described, the really exaggerated breathing. So that is like the amazing thing about breathing. And
Could you tell more about that? What this study that you
Yeah.
mentioned?
so the study that was I don't want to say to tell the full Wim Hof story,
Yeah,
because it's a lot.
put it in simple words.
Long
for,
story short.
So
for
long
people
story
with,
short,
lesser IQ, like
Yeah.
me and you.
Yeah.
long story short, Wim Hof was introduced to scientists in Radboud University. It's in Netherlands. He's a Dutch guy. They injected him with an endotoxin of E. coli, which is supposed to make you ill, like diarrhea, puke, whatever it is, fever. And he practiced his breathing technique while was injected, and he showed no symptoms.
Oh wow.
Oh,
So
really?
he showed that he can access his autonomic nervous system and to actually depress some part of the immune system, because what is all the puking and vomiting and everything is the immune system trying to reject
Yeah.
the bacteria or the virus or whatever it is. So he showed it. Then they expanded to a bigger group. He brought students, he taught them the method, and then it got exploded because he got like a stamp from like a medical institution that he actually has an access and is not just a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So that was the
that's-
beginning, basically, of the Wim Hof story.
That's amazing.
So today you have like your own clinic where
Yeah.
people can visit you.
Yeah.
Where can I
Oh, wow.
sign? Count me in. I
Wow,
mean,
you're sold?
convinced me.
You wanna go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also do you go to companies and you do like
Yeah, we also do workshops and at companies. If you have like a fun day or like a gathering, or a lot of companies have like a health week. They're celebrating the International Health Day or something like that. So yeah, really goes like, really well.
And you today you practice this 5 times a week?
More or less, like 3 to 5 times. I definitely gonna visit the cold, and I'm trying to breathe same kind of same amount, like 3 to 5 times a week. And I'm trying, and maybe this is something for the audience or for everybody who's listening, trying to be really aware of my breathing every day, trying to breathe as much as I can from the nose. Okay, I'm also sleeping with a duct tape on my mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
To incorporate more nose breathing, because nasal breathing have a lot of advantages, and it's actually the way we're supposed to breathe. The mouth is not the breathing organ in our body. It's just for eating.
Wow.
The fact
yeah.
that we breathe from the mouth cause a lot of problems. Okay, we're not supposed to do it. So if you're hearing this, shut your mouth and breathe from the nose.
But if that makes you snore,
Actually, it's the opposite. You know,
Really?
snoring, sleep disorders, insomnia is correlated with mouth breathing.
really?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Which has something in common with water, because water also helps you with sleeping well
That's
and
right.
falling asleep faster.
Right.
So yeah, those things have a lot in common.
Right.
Breathe well, drink well, you're gonna be well.
Meet the cold. Yeah. Meet the cold.
Need the cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also that. I should I should think about that more, but I think you convinced me.
You know what I say? The people that least like the people that don't want to plunge the most, they are the people that
Wow.
need to come to the water.
I definitely
the
need
cold
to.
water.
You have no choice now.
I have to.
Yeah.
It's on the record.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I think for me too, it'll be tough, but it's interesting. So, what were the crazy? What's the most crazy like thing that it helped you? Because it sounds like it made you conquer something that you were trying to or overcome something.
Yeah, so it gave me a lot of courage to do things in my life. I was in my former life, which is actually like I'm starting the transition. I'm in the transition, but I was working in a tech company. I was working in cyber defense company. I was working in a lot of different industries, and I was never super like full and satisfied. And I didn't have a purpose. And once I met the cold, and I said, okay, if I can jump into the water, I can jump and do something else that has a purpose, that has a meaning, that I can touch other people. and it gave me a lot of courage to do it, and I did it. I jumped.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of courage now. I know that to go on full time and dedicate yourself to this
Practice.
practice method. We also say about our product, which after we finish
you're gonna
here,
get
yeah,
one.
you're gonna experience it, and we'll hear. We'll hopefully you like it. I mean, of course you like it, but. We say that hydration is kind of like it all starts with hydration, like it's the base. If you're hydrated well, and we make it like some kind of game where you need to like reach your goal, and you're motivated to open new colors or just see like, okay, I reached my daily goal, and if it's like they say, if you make your bed in the morning, so you'll be a good businessman or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're hydrated properly and you feel good about it, so it'll help you do other things as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I truly believe that.
Okay, we got to the point where I ask about what are. Oh my God, I'm not
You need
drinking
to
enough.
drink.
Very much, yeah.
Wow.
It reminds me to drink.
Wow, such a beautiful color you have.
Mm. It still reminded me. I don't know why. I just drank, but okay. So we got to the part I like the most, which is water stories. And I want you to tell us a story that has something to do with water or hydration, something funny, something interesting that has happened to you. And go on.
Yeah, so maybe I'll say like my first touch point with water in general. My mom is a really like gifted swimmer, and she used to swim all her life. And obviously, this is my relation with water.
Yeah.
But the day I was born, she was still swimming. Like every morning, she went to swim, and then from the swim, she just went to the hospital and gave birth to me. So this was
Wow.
like lucky. I wasn't born in a pool, but like right after it, I came back to the pool. We went there every day, and water has like been major part of my
She
life.
didn't
And
give up swimming.
yeah, she didn't
Even
give
then.
up.
Yeah.
I think it's time to wrap it up. Nitzan.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for listening. This was the Water Academy. If you want to learn more about the smart water bottle, visit us at water.io. That's water.io to learn about the smart water bottle. Thank you so much, Yoav, for being with us.
Thank you very much.
We're looking forward to giving you the smart water bottle and hearing your thoughts. And it was really fascinating to learn about all this.
Yeah.
This new trend that's great. I mean, you see it everywhere, and it's very interesting, and I was curious about it, so I'm happy I learned today, and I hope it was interesting for you, the listeners, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Water Academy.